So it's been 10 weeks. This is day 70 of me being a part of BG Wealth Sharing. That's what that image represents. And I started documenting around day 17. So that's over 50 videos that I've delivered, just saying my perspective, my journey, my insight, highlighting certain things. I've been featured in somebody who was totally against BG Wealth Sharing, and I'm here for it all. And there's no looking back, no stopping from an angle of, me just being transparent, authentic, and honest due to the fact that I've started something. I'm documenting the journey. And like I always say, only time will tell. So I feel that BG Wealth Sharing has a long-term vision. I'm talking to somebody who's about to establish their own physical location. They already have one, but now they're converting it to be more so BG Wealth Sharing. They're being a senior investment advisor. And they, was sharing what they thought led to that pathway. They said that professor sent them a whole package of things, which is BG Wealth keepsake type things, signs, pens, different things that they can share with the members that they have in the local area. So it's a lot of long-term things that I'm seeing unfold that makes me believe in a long-term pathway of BG. BG just has to overcome the obstacles of the naysayers and negativity. And really, it sounds like the professor is not really looking at them like that. He knows they exist. He knows other companies are emulating, copying, even mimicking some of the things that he says on a verbatim word for word level. He's mentioned all of those things in some of the trainings, but he's locked in on his mission, which is to impact and empower and break generational curses over the world. So I'm seeing the future of it. But again, only time will tell. But I've been documenting this process, and even if BG ceased to exist, I would still be documenting my journey along doing something that is all about empowering and bettering people from an economic standpoint, because I feel like that's one of the purposes I serve in terms of trying to simplify certain things, be authentic about things, and then at the same time educating, empowering, and giving people a perspective that they may not have thought about that can give them vision to move through certain situations. Being that I have a background in financial literacy, credit education, I've helped people get their credit restored, help people strengthen their score and qualify for cars and homes and get items deleted. I've helped people in the world of taxes from a tax strategist standpoint, legally minimizing their taxes, getting a refund when they typically would owe, or owing a lot less than they typically would have, making them understand the importance of a home-based business so they can keep more of their hard-earned money. All economic empowerment based, but I like to do it from an educational standpoint so that it empowers you to know things that you can do. So when it comes to BG Worth Sharing, I'm just sharing my perspective, but also offering guidance, assistance, and answering questions of those who need questions answered. Now, out of all of these 70 days, it's only been 4 losses. 4 losses. Now, I'll get back on that shortly, but the previous video, I showed pretty much the steps required in order to enroll or get started with BG Wealth Sharing and setting up the DSJ exchange. That was based on a request. Somebody requested a video where I went over that. But I also have a link down below that if you're not a part of BG Wealth Sharing, you can click that link and get access to the system that is helping people get started, on their own, hands-free. And if you need assistance, then I'll be able to see that you opted in, and I can reach out and you can contact me as well and get assistance in your enrollment process. And if you're a part of BG Wealth Sharing and you need a system like that, then it's a link at the very bottom that you can tap into so you can get access to a system that I think benefits you greatly. But you got to understand, the wealth transfer is happening. The transfer of wealth is happening, whether you like it or not. You just got to figure out how you want to be a part of the transfer of wealth and how you want to position yourself to receive some of the wealth that's being transferred. It's a lot of different pockets that you can choose. BG Wealth Sharing just seems to be one of them. Yes, I'm sure there are others, but this is one that I feel like you may want to strongly consider. And I'm not saying others in the terms of copycat BG. I'm just saying there's other entities or industries that wealth is being transferred to, and you just have to figure out how to be a part of that wealth transfer that's happening so you and your family can benefit from that wealth transfer. Now, let's talk about the fact that this is day 70. A lot of people said it would be, BG would be done before I started. People were saying it. Hindsight is, months later, and it's still going, and people are saying this, it's destined to fail, yada yada. They're saying all of these things, but the people in the comments are saying, hey, the money is real. I'm withdrawing, this and that. I withdrew, my wife withdrew. I showed screenshots of that. And if you are a part of BG, share your testimony down below. But let's talk about the 4 losses. So it's 70 days of trades. That's 70 days. That doesn't mean it was just 70 trades. So when I say it's 4 losses, that was 4 losses literally. It's been well over 70 trades, because you got to keep in mind, there are bonus trades that we get access to. We get 2 trades a day on the low end. I now recently qualified for a third, trade, which is pretty astronomical, because it takes it from you earning 1.2 or 3% a day to 1.8%. And the math on that is pretty significant. I'll show y'all a screenshot of that, just in case that's something you aspire to do. Get that third trade, that third permanent trade signal, which some of you may already had. Some of you probably had it before me. Some of y'all might even have a 4th signal. But for me, I just qualified for the third permanent trade signal, so that's pretty significant. But back to the point. It's 4 losses. Not 4 days worth of losses, just 4 losses, 4 trades. Because just on the low end, not even considering the bonuses, not even considering if you had a third permanent trade signal, but just simply 2 trades a day. Everybody gets 2 trades a day. Out of those 2 trades a day, for the past 70 days of my involvement with BG Worth Sharing, there's only been 4 losses. So if you do the math, 2 trades per day times 70, that's 140 trades. Follow me. 140 trades for 4 losses. That's pretty powerful from a percentage standpoint. That's why when you looked at if those of you who saw the video, I had a 98.24% win rate. I'm not sure what it is now, because there's been multiple trades since then. So it might be, 98 plus. 90. At one point, it had got the lowest, like 97%. I didn't copy that or screenshot that when I missed it. But long story short, 4 losses out of over 140 trades is pretty impressive. Now, I know some of y'all think it's not real trades, all of that. Yeah, I get it. But based on my viewpoint and my vantage point, I'm seeing that 4 losses, that's pretty significant. But the bigger pro was that anytime it was a loss, they made it a point to give a makeup trade. They would notify people in the group, hey, keep your eye on this group so we can make sure that we get the makeup trade in within this hour time frame. And everybody was just kind of huddling, notifying their people and making sure that we didn't take a L. Now, some people might have missed because they didn't realize it was going to be a loss, and they might have been doing something else and didn't realize it. However, for those who were locked in, when you did the makeup trade, it made almost double what the loss was. Quick example. For me, if I lost $6, it made $11 or $12. If I lost $7, it made $14, $15. It was another time where it might have lost $11 because I had a larger amount in there. It made $24, something along those lines. So the makeup trades are pretty powerful, and it just goes to show that I didn't lose money. It was 4 loss in trades, but I didn't lose any money because the money that was lost was made back and some. So that's pretty impressive as it relates to day 70. And that's why it's no looking back. I'm too deep in to say, oh, never mind, I tried it out. No, I see the benefits. I see the power in it. I see why people may be scared and skeptical, all of those things. But I just chose to be on the inside, as many of the people who are on this video have chose to be on the inside. And many of you who are on the fence and considering it, let these videos just serve as somebody who's genuinely sharing. If it's things that I don't think are favorable, I share that. I share how, the thing that I don't like about the links having to get reset and us, having to make sure we got a fresh link. I've mentioned it. And I said in that same video, hey, BG Worth Sharing, it's not for the fragile. For one, we might have the link issues. For two, it's a lot of negative people who got something to say. And sometimes that's enough to scare people off. All they got to see is one article that doesn't align. All they got to see is one comment, one person, one decent sized influencer online, and they're like, all right, I ain't doing it. Now, some of these people may be coming from a good place. Some of them may not, because some of these same people were some of the same ones who was discrediting things that went on to thrive, but then they get quiet when those things go on to thrive. So if BG Worth Sharing goes on to be that thing that creates 1 million millionaires, I wonder where the naysayers are going to be then. They're going to either be quiet or they're going to eventually be a member saying, yeah, I was on the wrong side at first. I'm glad I'm in. And they're going to subtly say that, but they will loudly say what they thought was wrong about it, if that plays out. If not, and it plays out the other way and they end up being right, then I'll show up and be like, hey, I was wrong. I thought it was one thing, but it was another. This is, what I am on the journey of, and hopefully it's something that could be empowering or impactful or beneficial to you who are tapped in and tuned in, because I've been documenting to the point where now it's a habit. I look forward to just sharing my real perspective about BG Wealth sharing, because I know the power that it can have, the impact that it can have, because a lot of people are looking for solutions. They're looking for answers. They're looking for something different. They're looking and realizing that they can't rely on the job. They understand that technology is shifting and changing things, and you have to find something that outpaces inflation, outpaces layoffs, outpaces the uncertainty that may come from the job environment, that outpaces the uncertainty that may come from entrepreneurship, because as an entrepreneur is no guarantees. So they're looking for solutions to their day-to-day problems. They're looking for that. And Professor covered it in a previous video. He said, listen, a lot of people can't collapse due to exhaustion if they wanted to, because of the responsibilities that they have. And he was like, that's unfortunate, because money is a big thing that people need, and a lot of times in certain people's lives it can be scarce or unpredictable, and it seems like he wants to crush that as an issue. So the people are looking for something. That's why they're seeing if this is a solution that's right for them. And I just come to serve as a voice of reason, like, hey, no guarantees of saying, if this is a good fit for you. I just wanted to know on the inside, hey, if I can double my money in 60 days and position myself to create another stream of cash flow and position myself to help others, why not? The next video, what I'm going to cover is going to be showing how a small amount may be enough to cover your household expenses. So this is what I want you to do. If you made it to this part of the video, drop an example of what your overall household expenses are. Doesn't have to be exact, not to be too invasive, but you can just say, hey, how much would it take to have in your BG Wealth sharing account or in your exchange to produce $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $8,000 a month? Because for many people, $10,000 a month will more than cover their lifestyle. You may be surprised on how much it would be you would need inside of the system in order to make that happen. For many people, $5,000 or less will cover and really be a game changer for them. So sometimes it's not a matter of hitting a home run and now you got $1 million in your account. Sometimes it's a matter of just having the right amount that's producing the right amount of cash flow. And that cash flow, once withdrawn, can cover your lifestyle. And then you just continue to increase strategically from there. Say you reach a level that can pretty much make you 5,000, 10,000 plus, and you're good with that. But now you're like, okay, if I leave a little bit more in there, now that 10,000 grew to 11,000, then to 12,000, and you're strategically increasing, meanwhile still withdrawing and taking care of your lifestyle. And then there'll be some that will have 6-7 figures in their account, which there are those people as well, and they just kind of have to be a little more mindful of sharing it, because they kind of are against people sharing certain numbers. I'm more so documenting, but it may come a time where I stop sharing numbers, and the numbers have gotten bigger due to me just wanting to respect the guidelines. But I will still be showing up in a way that allows you to know, hey, now this thing is still clicking and ticking. This thing is still working. People are still winning. And then you can decide whether or not this is a good fit for you. And that's for those who are not in. Now, that being said, I just wanted to kind of come here and just say, hey, out of 70 days of trades, there's only been 4 losses. Also, just wanted to point out that it's no looking back. I've been documenting for this long. It's become a habit, and I love pouring and sharing different perspectives and angles, because I know somebody may need that little nudge of, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take that next step, because this person is not trying to convince me, not trying to hype me up. This person is just coming raw, authentically him. He's had his kids in the background or doing whatever, real person. That's what I needed to see. If that's you, then by all means, I salute you, welcome you on the inside, whether you join with somebody who may have shared this video or whether you decide, you know what, where's your link? And you join then get into the access of my link, and basically you get enrolled, and now you get plugged into whatever we have going on and things of that nature, because I welcome you and help you every step of the way as it relates to that as well. But you got to understand, the transfer of wealth is happening. The transfer of wealth is happening. You just got to get in a position, because every day you're not in position is a day that you're missing out on the opportunity to compound your money possibly and position you to hit your financial goals in a shorter time than the track that you may be on right now. That's all I got for this one. Mr. Smith signing out. Salute.